for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's up guys, Venom Fire here, back to the video, and today I'm bringing you guys a new offensive mini scheme. This one's going to be out of the New Orleans Saints offensive playbook, and we're going to be running the pistol bunch tight end. Now, I've had a lot of people suggest that I should make another mini scheme out of the Saints offense, and here you go. Pistol bunch tight end has been a really good formation for years. Again, it is really good this year. You have a ton of great plays. We got verticals, curl flat, cross drag, halfback zone, and you got plays like flood. There's a couple of plays that I'm not going to go over in this video. PA curls is a really nice play. Saints flood, good play as well. But yeah, we're going to be going over 4 passing plays and 1 running play. Those are, again, the ones I named. We got flood, curl flat, cross drag, and halfback zone in our audibles. And then we will be running verticals as well. So we're going to be starting out with a couple of plays and mainly cross drag. Cross drag, really nice play in this offense. It's probably the best play in the entire formation. So we will start out in that. Just taking a look, you got 2 drags, a crosser, and that little deep dig route. And I got a couple of great setups for this one. So just starting out on the offensive side of the ball, you want to make sure that your bunch is on the wide side of the field. Just like this, you got your bunch on the wide side, tight end on the short side. That's how you always want to run a bunch offense. Gun bunch, tight end, pistol bunch, tight end, pistol bunch, whatever. You always want your bunch on the wide side. That's different for this formation. So for our first setup, what you're going to do is you can honestly just run this stock. So you got 2 drags, you got a crosser, and you got a dig route. And running it stock is not the worst thing in the world. As we do get hits, we threw, you saw DK Metcalf did have separation. Just run it again. Obviously sitting completely wide open, but DK able to get that reception right there. So honestly, a good play to quick snap, really not terrible. And the couple of quick snap setups that you could run are like A on a streak, RB on maybe a wheel route. And then I would probably motion lock it out a step so that he's kind of not in the way, and then I can actually low ball this in between the zones. That's something that I definitely like to do, and we'll be using a little bit of motion out of this play later. But again, just another base quick snap play. You really just make 2 hot routes. You motion out and snap the ball. It's not like you're doing a ton. You see Carson has a ton of separation right there because of our dig route motioned out. If we didn't do that, he wouldn't be as open. But yeah, just a couple of relative stock setups, and now we'll move into a couple of written setups. In the first one, we're going to be using a wheel route again. What we're going to do is throw Carson on a wheel route. We're going to also put our outside receiver Tyler Lockett here on an out route or a flat route. Really does depend. You can either put him on an out or a flat. For the first one, we'll just keep him on his out route. Then on the other side of the ball, what you're going to do is throw Disley on a streak. So it's going to look like this. What we're going to do is motion out Lockett. This opens up the wheel route a lot. Look at how much separation we get right there. And that's really what the out route does. Again, these little wheel out routes are really nice out of every single formation, especially out of pistol. They're really good. I run them out of drip scheme. If you didn't watch that I use this route combination a lot. And again, you just put Lockett on an out route, Disley on a streak, and then look at how much separation that wheel route gets. Now, this is going to be better against cover 3 than a cover 2. But again, it depends on if they have a vert hook there. If they don't have a vert hook, it will still be open against cover 2. And it's still open against a lot of zone coverage regardless, just because of that wheel route he runs. Not even to the numbers. That's why it's so good. Out of gun, he's always going to run past the numbers. So it really does make the wheel routes a lot worse. But yeah, it's pretty much it for the first setup. Now moving on to our second setup, what I like to go ahead and do is I'm just going to throw A on a streak again. I'm going to put X on a flat route, and we're going to throw B on a slant. So it's going to look like this. We got a little backside slant. We're going to motion David Moore or your slot receiver over. We got a high-low between the crosser and the slant. Here we're going to take the slant, throwing over the middle of the field. Make sure you low ball. You can possession catch or rat catch. There I rat caught, but a lot of times you're going to end up possession catching. Again, we have Lockett just for a late play type high-low read, or I can roll out to the right and throw that crosser a lot of times. If I wanted to, maybe I can throw an option route in the middle of the field or a curl route, whatever. You can also smart route it. That's something I like to do with the curl routes. So a route combo like this gives you a couple of late play options despite rushing 4, and you have the option that you could get shedded, but again, really blocking the running back doesn't do a whole lot this year, so setting him out is not the biggest of issues. Again, simple route combo. You can always try and scramble out and throw this rollout crosser. Geez, I'm trying to ID, but yeah, it's solid route combination. You're gonna roll out here, throw it to DK, and we get that reception inbound. So really nice play. Again, there's a couple of things you could do with it. Just gave you guys a lot of ideas, I think, with it, but overall, it's just gonna be a very solid play to run. And it doesn't really get much better than this play out of the formation. One last route combo you can do is just to throw B on a streak and X on a curl. And then I like to go ahead and motion David Moore over. He's going to be our clear out. Again, just using that crosser. That's the crosser. And this time we're going to open up both the drag and the curl. And I'm spending a lot of time on this play because, again, this is the main play of the formation. So that is basically the reason. Now, I could obviously run that same route combo. Let's say my tight end is a low overall. He's almost unusable. I would throw B on the drag, A on the streak, and then I would just motion David Moore over and snap him as soon as he could. It's not going to make a huge difference, and you just get a little bit more speed. And again, you can still lowball. That drag is going to come wide open late in that play. But with that being said, let's move on to our next play. It's going to be Flood. It's overall a decent play, but we're going to use a lot of route combos, or a lot of hot routes in this setup. First things first, block your running back. He's not going to be used in this play. Next thing you're going to do is you can smart route Y. Now, really you can actually use this kind of corner route with Metcalf, or I can turn it into a out route myself. So I could either run it like this, or I could just obviously smart route Y. I would throw X on a streak. X is on kind of a weird fade. I don't really like it, so I just throw him on its own streak. But the next thing you're going to do is throw A on a drag, and we're going to throw B on an out route and smart route it. So if you had Y on the same route, they would be running the same route. But what we're going to do, motion Moore over, and this is where we get the flood concept. We got the in route, we got the out route, both man coverage beaters. You see Metcalf's going to be able to get over the top. Usually those curl flats will either follow the streak, or they will go ahead and jump down on the drag route. A lot of times they don't follow that kind of out route, but they could. So again, smart route Y, X on a streak, B on an out route, smart route B, throw A on a drag, and block your running back, just like so. Again, this is really good against man coverage. Geez, I accidentally clicked the wrong button, but DK Metcalf still catches it. Meant to throw it to the drag there. Again, pretty good against man coverage. It's almost better against cover 2, I want to say as well, but it is still a usable play. It's not the worst thing in the world. And I'll probably show it against cover 2 as well, just because obviously not too good against cover 3. But one last setup with this flood play: B on a drag, A on a curl, or B on a wheel route like this. Snap the ball, which gives you, again, more options. Check down. Again, we don't catch the ball, but it gives you a couple of other options. With that being said, we're just going to hop into cover 2 now. Now we're going to start out in the verticals play. Again, it's not in my audibles, but you can come out in it, and that gives you 5 plays that you can choose between. Verticals, again, really good. We're going to use it mainly for DK Metcalf's route, and also what we like is this little check and release underneath route with Chris Carson. That's a really nice route you can use. Just running it stock, it's going to kill cover 2 with DK Metcalf getting over the top just like so. Obviously, you will kind of want to pass lead it to the right because the strong safety actually comes down on this kind of crossing route with David Moore there. So we're going to use that to our advantage. Now, first things first, with the setup, what I like to do is, again, you could run it stock. There's not really anything to that 'cause it's simply usered. But first setup, we're going to throw B on a flat, X on a slant, and then we're just going to throw A on like a curl route, just like this. Not too much. We're going to motion lock it over, and just, again, a basic route combo. We're going to try and hit that streak over the top. If we can't, we got a couple of other routes we can throw. This is, again, mainly better against cover 3, but it still is usable. Just a little route combo I use. Right there wasn't open because the curl route is not too good against cover 2, but again, since I'm not using the defense, I can't really control between these. But again, what I was saying with this underneath route, we can use this to our advantage. I like to throw X on a curl route, and then I would usually throw A on like an out route. Gives us a couple of high-low reads. Again, I'm going to motion Tyler Lockett out like this, and then I can throw the underneath route right there. Also had B coming across the middle open, Metcalf open if the mid read does fall down. Again, that route combo, X on a curl, and then we were throwing A on like an out route. A is already kind of on a hitch, but I do like that out route a little bit better. Here you see David Moore's getting in a really good spot because of our out route and our underneath route, both pulling the cloud flat and the vert hook down. Again, one last time, here's a look at our setup. With X, I could also throw him on like an out route, something like this, but again, it doesn't make a whole bunch of a difference. Again, you can see bomb DK Metcalf over the top. We got hit as we threw, but again, you saw nice cover 2 beater. And obviously the best way to beat cover 2 would just to be completely spread out the field, so I would usually throw X on like a streak, motion him over like this, and that's going to pull the free safety completely over and give us the max separation up the middle. So verticals, a streaky play, but there's a couple of good things you can do with it. We're going to move on though, and that's going to take us to our halfback zone. So halfback zone, usually you want to run zone or halfback strong power. I like the zone a little bit better. I feel like the blocks develop really nice, even with a slower running back in Chris Carson. Look at the blocks, look at the hole we get to run through. Again, just base halfback zone. What I'm doing to it is I'm just flipping it, simply flipping the run to the bunch side. You can always run it to the right side. If I were to run to the right side, I would use motion, make him think it's a pass play, and then I have the same amount of blockers able to run it, and that's a good way to catch people off guard. Because again, running it out of pistol, pistol's not really known for high-powered for passing offenses, so we have to use the run to our advantage here. Really do like running the ball out of pistol this year, out of pretty much every pistol formation. I did run that pistol trips for a while. This one is no different. The halfback zone you see really consistent, really solid. Again, you see I'm picking up 5-10 yards per carry, and that will definitely work for us. So halfback zone, again, you can do some things with it. I could even kind of fake running it to the right and still run it to the left like this, use some motion, snap the ball, we're still running it to this side, cut back in. So overall, great run. Again, you have a couple of other plays like the draw, the counter that are nice. Not going to go over those, but there are some other run options. You got a screen as well that I would kind of consider a run play. But moving on, we got curl flat. Now this plays a little bit better against cover 3, so I'm going to audible back to that. All right, here we are back in cover 3. Now again, I didn't show man coverage in this video, but again, we have flood that's going to be man coverage. We have cross drag that's going to be man coverage using the crosser. You can use curl routes, in routes, slant routes, all those beat man coverage. So a lot of options, even though I'm not separating that part from the video. But here we are in curl flat. So curl flat, just the base play. What I like to do is I'm going to block my running back, and I'm going to throw A on an out route and Y on a flat, just like this. What I'm going to do is also motion lock it out one step to the left and snap the ball. I completely missed my read with B. Also, you can actually leave RB on his route. I accidentally blocked him there, but you can actually come out and quick snap. It's not terrible. I can either throw X on a high ball, or I can check down to RB. Sometimes B will be open on that as well. But overall, it is a very solid play to run. It's pretty similar to the one out of Gun Trips tight end, if you know what that is. But a little setup I like to run is with A on a streak and Y on a drag. So it's going to look like this. And then you have X on a backside curl route, and then you still have your RB route. So it just looks like this. I can lowball David Moore, and he's almost acting as a crosser because out of pistol bunch, we don't have a crosser from that slot receiver. This one can kind of act at it as well as the verticals one. So again, just to quick snap it, I could just throw Y on a drag and quick snap. I could keep A on this corner out, honestly, because they don't kind of run to the exact same area. Depending on how many zones you have in the middle of the field, it would still be open. Right here with the CPU, they're obviously going to play high a lot of the time without a user. So again, you can throw Y on a drag and throw Y on a flat, whatever, A on an out route or A on a streak or whatever, motion lock it out. So just a couple of options I gave you guys. You see with that running back route, I like it a lot, that running back hook, because these zones pull low. Really, Madden and zone coverage this year is pulling the zones low, throwing it over the top. Again, with lock it, I could even motion him completely out like this and then snap the ball. Doing that, it's going to open up DK Metcalf on the outside very heavy because of the way that they sort of stack. So that's something that you can do to check down if he's playing over the top. But overall, yeah, it's pretty much going to do it for curl flat. I could also kind of create the same play with cross drag in putting my tight end on a streak, and I would just keep DK on his out route, and I would lock it on a backside streak like this. Again, kind of a high-low read. We got a post to slant combo this time, so I can throw either. But again, just using 1-2 routes in a play and then hot routing our way around it like we do in so many of these cross drag. We're using the crosser, flood, we're using that little out route, corner out type play, and then curl flat, we got the post route. So a lot of good plays in this formation. And overall, I think you can get really creative with it. One of the reasons I like it. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the road to 12,000 subscribers, and peace. I'm out of here.